global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. Today had been quite a dramatic day in Abuja High Court, where the case of Nnamdi Kanus and the Federal Republic of Nigeria is being heard. Justice Obiocha is in charge of the case, and interestingly, today we saw series of drama took place, especially where Nnamdi Kanus seems uncontrollable, maybe for reasons best known to him. He had pointed it out that no one is showing him or answering his questions, especially on the issue of where are they charging him from, which law that he wants to know. Now, there were a lot of eyewitnesses there. One of them, Senator Obiocha, who is in charge. That's who is a senator representing Abuja, and he has something to say after the court case. Let's listen to him, and we're back to talk more.
What happened in court today, for me, continues to be travesty of justice. I've always said it, that in Nigeria, there appear to be two sets of rules. One for the Igbo man and another for the other Nigerians. This is exactly what I saw in court today. First of all, my name is Honorable Obiocha. I represent the great people of Iguano, Umuahia North and Umuahia South Federal Constituency. I am the primary representative for Nnamdi Kanus. So I'm going to speak to you as a layman. I'm not a lawyer. Today, there was a motion that was filed. Previously, I believe at the end of October, another motion was filed. And none of those motions were challenged by the prosecution team. They didn't raise any objection. The court did not overrule anybody, but admitted the motion. So on what basis then is the trial, the efforts that are being put to compel Nnamdi Kanus to trial when the motions have been put and yet to be challenged by the prosecution team? Nnamdi Kanus is asking for a simple question: on what law is he being tried? Neither the judge nor the prosecution team have answered that. And today, that motion that was raised by Nnamdi Kanus and served to the prosecution team were not challenged. And it's very, very critical and important that we know that. However, the judge now ruled, he said that he's reserved November 20th for ruling, when there are jurisdictional issues, thresholds that are yet to be overcome. So this is a political trial veiled as a criminal trial. And for the stability of the Southeast and for the stability of Nigeria in a whole, to bring to end the civil war that was fought in 1967, means that the president should please look at the totality of Nnamdi Kanus' trial and bring an end to this charade, a travesty of injustice, bring an end to it so that the Southeast can be peaceful again, Nigeria can be peaceful again. But if they are determined in the way they have steamrolled this process, rushing to a judgment, then like Nnamdi Kanus says, there's a God in heaven, and the injustices that have been meted to Igbos, we will not forget. We will not forget. Even if we forget, our children and our grandchildren will not forget. Because it is important that everybody notes it, especially Mr. President, that in order for him to consolidate his goodwill for 2027, start with the how he handles the matter of Nnamdi Kanus. Because you cannot be there as the father of the nation and Nnamdi Kanus is being treated in the manner that he's been treated, when every other person who has been charged with almost similar offenses as Nnamdi Kanus, at the determination of the court, has been let go. So why is Nnamdi still being held down, being punished, being subjugated? It's simply because he's an Igbo man. So if we get it, the president gets this right, then we will begin the process of healing and reconciliation and putting back the Southeast back as a home where people can come and feel free in their homes without running away from all these high crime and criminalities that are happening in the Southeast. So Mr. President has an opportunity now. The world is looking at us, both from the persecution of Christians, from the persecution of Nnamdi Kanus, to know how we are going to put our houses in order. But like I said, he's one person. You can take Nnamdi Kanus if you so wish. You have the authority. But many more Nnamdi Kanus will rise because this is clearly an injustice that is being meted at one person who happens to be a legal man. So I plead with Mr. President to note that this is a political trial, and which requires a political solution to bring everything to a closure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this is coming from a senator representing Abia State, and I must say, some of the things, as an eyewitness, some of the things that he has pointed out there demands immediate action. Now, first of all, we know that where this case is going to, based on the position of the judge and also other cases like this, is number one, it may lead to possibly they may, convicting him. That November 20th may likely be a day that they may likely convict him, or it could convict him, could be a case of life sentencing or execution. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that, but one of the issues that have raised so much concern is the fact that most Nigerians are saying that this case is actually a political case, and it can only be perfectly resolved by the president. I don't know if the president is going to look into this case, but with some of the suggestions that the senator has rolled out, number one, that the fact that more of Nnamdi Kanus will come up, even if you have to convict, Nnamdi Kanus, more of them are going to resurface. We saw Simon Ekpa from Finland, though now he's cooling off in jail. But I mean, you just realize that no one can cop this whole thing. The big question is, how can it be fixed right now? Because it's not all about the court case. There are better non-kinetic way of handling issues, and dialogue is one of it. Having to sit with him. What we saw today, for most people, it was an uncontrolled act coming from Nnamdi Kanus. But then, if you will share my opinion, he's been there for almost 5 years. He doesn't know whether he is facing his charges or whether he is going to be convicted or not. No one can tell exactly the position of things. And he's been there. Come on, years are passing. He's gradually walking into his old age under the custody of the DSS. I think right now, the Nibos need to meet and see how they can reach out to Mr. President as one people, and also reach out to Nnamdi Kanus to make decisions. And no matter what anybody will say, his frustration that was shown out there, I do understand how it feels like. I've never been in that situation before, but I just feel that he's overly frustrated, considering the fact that everything about him seems to be unexplainable, and someone needs to explain it better for him. Now, even when he was making use of, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, lawyers and all of that, none of them could reach a consensus as that has to do with his own case, So I think that's why we're seeing all this reaction. The senator reacted, and what he pointed out was that Bola Tinubu needs to wade into this case. It's a political case. It needs to be handled because he's kind. Talking about those who have pursued this determination for their own nation, most of them are walking free. Talk about someone like Ibowo. Ibowo is walking free of charge. Nothing is happening to him. Even those who have been convicted of terrorism, at one point they said they repented. And because they have repented, they have been reintegrated into the society, despite the fact that some of them were caught with ammunition. Some of them have killed a lot of people before now. But somehow they extended some, leverage to them. They gave them opportunity to leave again. I think this should be done once and for all so that we walk into the place of rest for Nigeria. This is quite uncalled for. Bola Tinubu has a lot of cases to answer, a lot of issues to answer. Now how about the United States case and all of that? He needs to take a decision that will help curtail the crisis in Southeast. Even means freeing this guy, but then possibly one or two agreement between him and Bola Tinubu's government so that Nigeria will rest from this issue of his arrest, and up till now nothing has been done. I mean, he has sent a letter across to the president of the United States of America. Nobody can tell exactly what may likely come out from there. If they pick up that case with one tweet, before you know, we'll start shouting, screaming, running helter-skelter. Why don't we grow up, fix our own case than washing our dirty linen out there, especially on issues like this? Quite uncalled for. That's what we like to leave it. Let's meet our commission and talk more on this. What's the standpoint on some of the things that the senator has narrated out there? Let's interact.